You lied today. Yes, you. Maybe you told someone you were almost there while still scrolling in bed. Or you smiled at a friend and said, "I love it," when you hated their playlist. Studies show the average person lies between 1 to 200 times a day, depending on how strictly you define a lie. Little white lies, exaggerations, omissions, they all count. And here's the kicker, most of us don't even realize we're doing it. But why? Why is lying so easy, so natural, so automatic? Imagine you're a hungry human 200,000 years ago. You found a pile of berries. If you shout the truth, "Food here," the strongest hunters grab them, and you starve. If you lie, "No food here, I'm starving too," you live another day. That's deception as survival. Biologists point out that lying isn't unique to humans. Chimpanzees will fake alarms to scare rivals away from food. Birds pretend to be injured to lure predators away from their nests. Nature itself rewards tricksters. So when humans learned to speak, lying wasn't a moral invention. It was a biological inheritance. Our ancestors survived not just by fighting predators, but by bending reality. Now, fast forward. A baby is born. Pure, innocent, incapable of lying, right? Wrong. By 6 months old, babies start fake crying to get attention. By age 2, toddlers experiment with bluffing. "I didn't eat the cookie."
Do you need to wash your hands? Did you eat cake?
No.
You didn't have any cake? No. What have you been eating?
Nothing.
Nothing.
By age 3, most children can lie deliberately. And by age 4 or 5, they get good at it, so good that scientists actually use lying abilities as a sign of intelligence. Psychologists discovered that lying requires something called theory of mind, the ability to realize other people have thoughts different from your own. That's a sophisticated brain skill. In fact, kids who lie earlier usually score higher in IQ tests later. In other words, lying is less about being bad and more about being clever. So when kids lie to avoid punishment, or to get an extra cookie, they're not being immoral. They're being human. Lying didn't stop with kids. As humans formed tribes, kingdoms, and nations, lies became weapons of power. Take warfare. In the Battle of Kadesh, 1274 BC, Egyptians and Hittites both exaggerated their victory so much that historians still argue about who actually won. Or take politics. Emperors often claimed they were chosen by the gods, a divine lie that kept entire populations obedient. And it wasn't just rulers. Merchants lied about weights and measures. Explorers exaggerated their discoveries. Lovers lied to win hearts. In fact, if you erase lies from history, entire civilizations collapse. Because lying does something strange, it creates belief. And belief, whether true or not, shapes reality. But what actually happens inside your brain when you lie? Neuroscience gives us the uncomfortable truth. When you lie, your prefrontal cortex, the decision maker, and your amygdala, the fear center, light up. At first, lying feels stressful, your body sweats, your heart races, your brain panics. That's why lie detectors measure stress signals. But here's the dangerous part, the more you lie, the less your amygdala reacts. In 2016, researchers at University College London found that lying desensitizes the brain. It's like emotional anesthesia, your guilt shrinks with every lie, making the next one easier. That's why tiny lies snowball. One excuse leads to another, one exaggeration to another, until you're trapped in your own fiction. Your brain isn't punishing you anymore, it's rewarding you. Let's sprinkle in some numbers. Studies show 60% of people can't go 10 minutes without lying in casual conversation. 40% of resumes contain some form of lie. In dating, 90% of online daters admit to lying on their profiles, age, weight, or income being the top 3. And according to psychologist Bella DePaulo, people lie to their mothers in 1 out of every 5 conversations. So, no, It's not just politicians. It's us. Ordinary people, ordinary lies, every single day. Not all lies are evil. Some lies are kindness. You look beautiful. Dinner was delicious. Of course, I remembered your birthday. These are pro-social lies, designed to protect feelings, smooth relationships, keep society running. Without them, brutal honesty would rip us apart. Imagine if every thought spilled out, yes, that shirt is ugly. Civilization might crumble faster than with war. So in a strange way, lies are social glue. They keep friendships intact, lovers together, families peaceful. Sometimes, reality is too sharp. Lies sand down the edges. But then came the internet. Social media turned lying into a lifestyle. Not necessarily malicious, but curated, filtered, exaggerated. The perfect selfie, the dream vacation, the hustle success story. These aren't always outright lies, but they're edited truths. And our brains love it. In fact, neuroscientists found that curating our lives online triggers the same dopamine reward pathways as lying in person. It's self-deception on a global scale. So if lying is natural, ancient, and even useful, why should truth matter at all? Because here's the paradox: while lies build empires, only truth sustains them. Every great liar eventually collapses under the weight of their own fiction. History is littered with scandals, betrayals, and downfalls, all from lies too heavy to carry. And on the personal level, constant lying erodes trust, the very fabric that holds society together. The truth might not always be kind. It might not always be safe. But it is always more stable. Lies are sugar, sweet, addictive, but dangerous in excess. Truth is grainy bread, harder to swallow, but it keeps you alive. So, why do people lie so easily? Because from the first caveman bluff to the latest Instagram filter, lying has always been part of our survival kit. Our brains aren't built to tell the truth. They are built to tell a story. And sometimes, the best story is the one where we edit reality just enough to keep going. That's why we lie. Not because we're evil. But because, for the human brain, the truth has always been negotiable. So, here's my question for you: what's scarier to you, being lied to? Or everyone knowing the lies you've told? And hey, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Or don't, just know that your next thought might be, why didn't I subscribe to that weirdly relatable channel?